What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Full Command Show. My name is Grant Mitchell, and we're here to talk about everything involving the Washington Commanders. We got a really fun show coming up today for you guys. Look, we're 5 weeks into the season. We got a long way to go, but I thought, hey, I'm all for giving people their flowers, but also I'm quick to call out things that are going wrong when I see them. So why don't we take a look back at the first 5 weeks of the season, and let's hand out some superlatives. Those could be good. Those could be bad. I've got a list of things that I created. I don't want to go with the standard MVP. I didn't want to go with a defensive player of the year. No, I wanted to come up with some cool awards to hand out, and that's what we are going to do on this show. But before we get there, guys, make sure that you do hit the like button. It takes 2 seconds out of your day. It's the easiest way you can support me and support the content. I'm excited to hear what you guys think of these awards. And also, as we go through them, please go to the comment section. Let me know if you think that I got anything wrong, if you would like to give that award to someone else. And also, if you have any award ideas of your own, because if there are some good suggestions, maybe I'll double back to this and either I'll do an update later this week, or maybe when we get to like the halfway mark of the season, I'll go back and I'll add some of those cool award ideas in there as well. But that's enough for the introduction. Without further ado, cue the lights, camera action, get the gold shimmers flying down from the ceiling. Let's get into the awards.
Best new arrival, Javon Kinlaw.
I can't say enough positive things about JK. The size in the middle of the defensive line, the speed, the strength, the disruption, the culture fit, the leadership, everything for Kinlaw has been off the charts. And in some ways, this is not just an award for Javon Kinlaw, it's an award for Adam Peters too. Because let's not forget, local media, national media, the majority of people out there said, hey, Adam Peters, you are making a mistake to give $15 million in 3 years to Javon Kinlaw. And from what we have seen this season, Kinlaw is playing at a Pro Bowl level. I am so serious in this. The Commanders are second in rushing yards allowed over expected. They're actually in the negative, so they're getting running backs to get less than what is projected for them. They are third in pressure rate. They've allowed 4 yards per carry. Last year, they were up at 5. We know how abysmal the run defense was last year. And individually, Kinlaw is fourth in run stops. There's only 3 players who have been more disruptive against the run than him from the interior. So I just can't say enough good things about Javon Kinlaw. The pairing with him and Daron Payne has also helped Daron Payne look a lot better. And with the interior playing well, that's allowed some of the edge guys to feast. Dorrance Armstrong's got 5 sacks now. Von Miller's got 3 sacks. Frankie Lugo hasn't even gotten going yet. So massive hat tip to Javon Kinlaw, a worthy recipient of this award. I had Deebo Samuel as my honorable mention, just to put that out there.
Old man still ballin', Laremy Tunsil.
Honorable mention, Bobby Wagner here. I know Bobby Wagner's caused some strife because of his declining speed, but Bobby's done an outstanding job this season going forward. He had those 2 sacks against the Raiders. He's on pace for the lowest missed tackle rate of his career, the second most run stops of his career. Bobby Wagner's still doing his thing, don't get me wrong. But Laremy Tunsil, and he also fits into that best new arrival award as well. He's been great. But Laremy Tunsil this season is third in Pro Football Focus's pass blocking metric. He's only given up 6 pressures, so just about 1 per game, 1 QB hit, 1 sack. And the Commanders, when they're running the football, they have the most success based on EPA going to the left, going around the left tackle, which is obviously where Laremy Tunsil is. Now, you'll feel his impact more in the passing game, but he does a good job in the running game as well, too. And he's not just a big dude who's anchored in the ground. He can get out and move. We've seen that with all the gap scheme runs the Commanders have utilized this season. They're pulling Wiley, they're pulling Connolly, they're pulling Biotish, and they'll get Tunsil on the move, too. So the fact that you have your franchise quarterback, you appear to have found a franchise running back in Jacory Croskey-Merritt, and you've got that bookend left tackle, that franchise left tackle to keep him upright. As Sam Cosmi comes back in the next week or two, as Connolly continues to elevate, with Laremy Tunsil being the head of it all, this offensive line is in really good shape moving forward. I actually made a graph earlier today, and I put it out on my Twitter in case you guys want to check it out. But it plotted rushing yards before contact per carry on one axis, and on the other it was pressure rate. So you want to be in the top right for low pressure and high yards before contact per carry. The Commanders were in that top right quadrant. They were in the elite offensive line quadrant. And how many times have we been able to say that recently? So Laremy Tunsil gets a lot of credit, a huge amount of credit for that, and he's been sensational so far this season.
Rookie of the Year, Bill Croskey-Merritt.
Honorable mention Trey Amos for this one, but I had to give the award to Bill. The guy is just incredible. Seriously, I don't want to give praise where it's not due. I don't want to big up this guy's ego. Not that I think it will get to his head, not that I think he's even watching these videos, but the point I'm making here is I don't just hand out compliments like Halloween candy. Bill has earned everything he's gotten and a whole lot more. I mean, Nike just signed the guy, for goodness sakes. He just signed him to a deal after 5 weeks of his NFL career. Bill this season leads all running backs in success rate and yards per carry. He's 6th in broken tackle rate. He's 2nd in yards after contact per carry. In his first game as the lead back, he goes for 111 yards and 2 touchdowns. He appears to be a receiving threat, 2 catches for 39 yards against the Chargers, and his pass blocking is only going to get better with more reps that he gets in the NFL system. So considering this guy is not coming in with a very impressive pedigree, whether it's his high school recruiting numbers, whether it's spending 4 years at Alabama State, he's probably just going to continue to get better and better now that he's around professional coaching staff, professional weight training, professional diet plan, and professional players. He's just going to continue to get better. I've been trying to think of a comparison for him. The best thing I can come up with, and player comps sometimes are a little cheesy because you usually only compare players to great players. And as much as I love Bill, he's not there yet. And if it was a lesser player as well, we would still be making comparisons to great players because those are the people we remember. But my comparison for Bill before the line of scrimmage is like Le'Veon Bell because he's patient. He's waiting to see the hole open up. And once he finally sees it, he bursts through it. He gets skinny and he basically always gets through there. And then after the line of scrimmage, he's like Alvin Kamara. The vision, the agility, the contact balance, it's all just off the charts. So I have been overwhelmed by Bill's start to the season, and he's one of my favorite players already. If he gives me another 100-yard game in the next week or two, I'm probably buying a jersey.
Biggest overachiever, Chris Paul.
Another guy who has just been terrific. Ever since Brandon Coleman came out of the starting lineup, which was in week 3 against the Raiders, the Commanders have just been outstanding, and that a large part of that is because of Chris Paul. He's only given up 2 pressures in those 3 games. Now, unfortunately, both of those were sacks, but that 2 pressure number, that's the lowest on the Commanders' offensive line in that span. He's 5th in Pro Football Focus's pass blocking grade for guards. And since he joined the starting lineup again in week 3, the Commanders have averaged 6.2 yards per carry and 170 rushing yards per game. We're at the point where he has made Brandon Coleman potentially expendable. And that's a whole other conversation about using him as trade bait and can that land you a good player. But if it does, let's just say you trade Brandon Coleman and you get back a legitimate contributor, that is traced back to Chris Paul. And this is not me, by the way. This is not me saying I want Brandon Coleman off the team. I'm just saying the way that Chris Paul has emerged, a 2022 7th-round pick in the final year of his rookie contract, they might not even be able to let him get to free agency. They might have to extend him right now because if he keeps this up and other teams start to take notice, Chris Paul is going to be in high demand. So he's only been in there for 3 weeks, but he has also been playing at a Pro Bowl level. And I really want to see, do we have a real gem here? I don't know, but love what I've seen from Chris Paul so far.
Most disappointing, Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, we had to get to it at some point. We had to address it. Honorable mentions here, Brandon Coleman, who I was just talking about, for getting a spot taken by a 7th-round pick who really has not been in the picture to be a starter, and then Marshawn Lattimore. But honestly, we saw Lattimore not do great last season, so it is what it is there. But Terry McLaurin, his durability and his consistency were the key selling points in his contract negotiations. We've seen neither. He got off to the worst 3-game start of his NFL career, 10 catches for 149 yards. He then missed the next 2 games, and according to a report from Ian Rappaport this morning, Thursday morning, he has not even been a limited participant at any practice since the injury, and he's unlikely to play on Monday Night Football. Now, in my mind, that also raises some more questions about why didn't they put him on injured reserve. He's going to have to play against the Cowboys in Week 7 to say that they didn't make a mistake not putting him on IR, but that's a whole different conversation. Terry, I still stand by the belief when you get to high leverage games, when you get to playoff games, you need a number 1 receiver. That's not exclusive to Terry McLaurin. I'm not saying you need Terry McLaurin, but you need a number 1 receiver. However, Jayden Daniels truly did a pretty sensational job in his first game back without a number 1 against the Chargers, who have an elite defense. again, when you get to whether it is the conference championship game, whether it's the Super Bowl, whether it's just the wild card, when you go against an elite defense, I'm going to stand by the belief that you need a number one receiver there. But at this rate, we're going to have that put to the test. And if Jayden continues to ball without Terry, I don't think they'll trade Terry midseason, but come the offseason, I think it's certainly on the board. So Terry McLaurin, fan favorite, guy who was always consistent, always available, model citizen, had the fans had his back all the time. Everything's the complete opposite right now. And the only way back for him is to get on the field and to produce.
Best up-and-comer, Luke McCaffrey.
Honorable mentions for Johnny Newton, Jordan McGee, and Ben Sinnott in this piece. I know that Ben Sinnott, I don't even know if he has a reception yet this season, but his run blocking has just been chef's kiss over the last couple of weeks. Jordan McGee, we've all been campaigning to see him, and Johnny Newton's played really well this season. But I put Luke McCaffrey here because, number one, he dealt with a lot of pressure from the fan base. There's like a line in the sand. Either you love Luke or you hate Luke and you want him to fail. I've always been somewhere in the middle. Obviously, I'm going to root for all Commanders players, and I want them all to succeed. But as far as my actual outlook for Luke, I'm not going to lie and say that I've been the most optimistic. When he got only 5 snaps in the first week of the season, I was like, that's a pretty bad sign, Luke. But from what he's done, or what he's done from that point on, it's really a testament to his character and his improvement. And now when I look at Luke McCaffrey, I say, oh, okay, I could see you being a receiver number 3 by the end of the season, by next season, whatever role he has to fill. I could say, okay, I could see you doing that. He is second in the NFL in yards per kick return, so he's doing a phenomenal job on special teams. Also with his coverage, he actually gets a lot of tackles. His 58-yard kick return, I believe that was against the Falcons, is the 5th longest of any player in the NFL this season. And we've now got 3 straight weeks of splash plays from Luke. There was the 43-yard touchdown against the Raiders. There was a touchdown from Mariota in the back of the end zone against the Falcons. And then there was the 50-yard reception from Jayden Daniels against the Chargers. That's truly a perfect throw. No quarterback in the world can throw the ball better than Jayden Daniels did there, but it's still a difficult catch. Traveling full speed, extending, low catch point, defender draped all over you, little bit of contact. That's a brilliant catch. And we don't need Luke to go out there and be a 10-catch, 100-yard per game type of receiver. We just need players. When you have a franchise quarterback, you just need players who you're confident in their ability to consistently do whatever is asked of them. And if Luke is asked to catch 2 to 3 passes per game and he has hands like that and he does it, then he is filling his role on top of being a great special teams performer as well and continuing to get better and earn more trust from the coaching staff. So Luke McCaffrey, a deserving winner of this award. Seems like he's gotten some of the haters off of his back, and I am happy for Luke.
Blue-collar baller, Trey Amos.
Amos is very quiet, very humble, goes about his work. You hardly notice him. During games, you probably won't even see him half the time because opposing quarterbacks are scared to throw to his side of the field. So far this season, through 5 games as a rookie, Trey Amos has allowed 8 catches for 100 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions, but again, not going to fault him because people aren't really throwing at him, and 2 PBUs. For comparison, and I'm cherry picking this, okay? But Defensive Player of the Year, Pat Surtain, has allowed 15 catches for 162 yards. So nearly twice as many catches, 62 more yards. I am not here to say Trey Amos is better than Pat Surtain. What I am saying is Trey Amos has produced at an elite level this season. He has been the best player in the secondary. Early on in the season, there was a lot of man coverage. He was fine. Recently, it's been a lot of zone coverage. He's fine. He's the one player that when they're back there, I just don't have to worry about them. Mike Sainristil was the 2nd-round pick. We all love Mikey, but I've got some concerns here and there. He started to earn it back with the interceptions, but still some concerns. Quan Martin has made some big plays, but he's also given up some big plays. Lattimore, conversation for another day, coming off his best game of the season, so shout out to him, credit to him for that, but not a good start to the year. Trey Amos is the one guy, we don't even really discuss him because there's no need to. He just goes out there, sticks in front of the receiver, blankets them, quarterback doesn't throw his way, you line it up and you do it again. That's why I call him the blue-collar baller. It's just very workmanlike. Go to work, do my job, go home, not searching for any praise, not searching for any admiration, and go out there and do what you're supposed to do. So Trey Amos, I don't even have an honorable mention here. I thought this one was just open and shut case. The winner of the blue-collar baller.
Most thrilling moment, Jaylin Lane.
The punt return touchdown, man, what an awesome play. That was the Commanders' first punt return touchdown since Jamison Crowder in 2016. It was the second longest punt return of any player this season. 90 yards, only Torrey Horton of the Seahawks has a longer one at 95 yards. Look, Jaylen Lane is still working to fill out or to find his role in the offense, but on special teams, he is dangerous, and we have seen that from him. It's not just that one big play. When the teams punt the ball to him and they're willing to give him returns, he doesn't waste movement. He doesn't start going side to side. He doesn't start at half speed. He is full speed moving forward. This is a guy who ran a 4.3 at the combine. He is electric when you put the ball in his hands, and we saw it in that play against the Raiders, I believe it was. Yeah, I think they were up 20-10, and then Jaylen Lane does that. So unless I'm missing a moment here, certainly there's not anything from the Packers game. We know that much. The Giants game, some defensive plays, sure, here and there, but didn't really think there was anything there. The Falcons, no, we're not going to get anything. The Raiders game I just mentioned there. And then the Chargers, I guess the most electric play from the Chargers game was probably the Luke McCaffrey catch, the 50-yard bomb, either that or the touchdown to Deebo. But I do feel like this was the most electrifying moment of the season. I'd be interested to hear you guys' thoughts on that. But that is going to do it for the final award. Most thrilling moment goes to Jaylen Lane. And guys, that's going to do it for the video today. Some week 5, week 6 superlatives just to hand out. Thought it would be a fun idea. Make sure you go to the comment section. Let me know what you thought of the awards, if you would change anything, and if you have any ideas for new awards when we get back to this concept another time. One final time, guys, if you did appreciate this, make sure you hit the like button. To the new viewers, hit the subscribe button. Coming out with videos every day. And as I always say, I'll catch you in the next one. Have a great day.